Qantas is urgently approaching. Passenger Mr. Jeffrey Sampson. Your flight is in the final stages of boarding and is ready for departure.
G'day and welcome to another trip report. My name's Tom Mackay and today I'm flying with Qantas from Melbourne to Sydney on board their Airbus A330-200 in business class. When I flew back in August 2018, Qantas had just opened their brand new business class lounge in the Qantas domestic terminal in Melbourne, and this was my first visit, and as you can see it is partially under construction, but there is still brand new furniture and a brand new view overlooking the Qantas domestic apron. Walking through the lounge towards the back, you'll find the bar on the right, which features all you can eat and drink, as well as on the left the main food stations and buffet area as well. I haven't been back since this flight, but I do believe the lounge is now complete. The Qantas lounge precinct in the Melbourne domestic terminal has essentially done a swap, with the Qantas Club now occupying the former business class lounge space and vice versa. There's a beautiful view over the terminal, and as you can see, I made a nice little time lapse of my morning as I enjoyed a delicious drink and some mid-morning brunch. As you can see, Qantas has fitted a number of shower suites within the business class domestic lounge. They feature a toilet as well as a fully equipped shower with amenities and a nice big mirror to look at yourself. Of course, the amenities are by a spa, and you can also grab a towel package to help you dry off, and particularly important if you didn't bring your own towel. Back outside you'll find a quench station, a new concept being introduced across the lounge network by Qantas, as well as the hot dishes on offer today from the buffet, which were rather uninspiring, I have to say, but still quite tasty. Good afternoon. I am at Melbourne Airport today and I'm about to head off to Sydney on Qantas's Airbus A330-200. I'll be flying business class this afternoon, which I'm very excited for, and be showing you through the cabin and meal service. I've already been up to the lounge, which you've seen, and looking forward to a great flight. So the scheduled departure is now 1 hour delayed. Was supposed to depart at 12 PM, now looking for a 1 PM departure, but that's okay. Got to explore the partially opened brand new Qantas Business Lounge, which still has room for improvement, but is a much welcome improvement over the previous lounge. I was flying on Ningaloo Reef, a 8-year-old A330-200. Given the delay, pretty much everyone who was boarding this flight was waiting outside the departure gate. Naturally, it was extremely chaotic, and there were lots of people using the priority boarding lane, probably due to their status. I took my place in seat 7A, which is in the rear business class cabin of the A330. This is the first generation of the Qantas Business Suite, which is largely similar to the product I've already reviewed on board the Boeing 787-9. However, a notable difference is the inclusion of leather seats, and on this particular aircraft you could tell they were quite worn and weathered. The seat transforms into a fully flat bed and there's lots of customization. Same storage areas apply, and some higher quality headphones are supplied. There's an in-seat USB and AC power point for charging your devices, as well as a vanity mirror and a handheld remote control for the in-flight entertainment system. There's also a compartment down near the legs where bedding is usually stored for longer flights, and the legroom is excellent, particularly at this bulkhead position, which is actually greater than a regular business class seat on board this aircraft. Today it was just a short taxi to runway 27, which is the secondary crosswind runway at Melbourne Airport, and before long we were cleared for takeoff. flight from Melbourne to Sydney is only 1 hour really, which means there's not a lot of time to enjoy the business suite. But I had to make the most of it and decided to check out the in-flight entertainment system. This system is mostly the same as is available on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. However, you can notice that this is an older generation. The touchscreen is not as high resolution, it's a little bit slower to respond. Still good, but not just quite as good as the Dreamliner. The moving map is far worse as well. In this bulkhead seat, there is a large storage compartment located at the front of the suite, which is very handy for storing your bag. Saves you putting it in the overhead locker. Essentially, the seat's exactly the same as the Dreamliner. I was quite happy to sit there and enjoy it. I recently started journaling, and I couldn't think of a better location to write down some of my thoughts. It really wasn't long before the meal service began. There was only 2 options on this lunchtime flight. When the flight attendant noticed my camera, she wasn't particularly thrilled, I suppose, but have a listen to see what she had to say.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a little video of my trip.
Sorry?
I'm doing a video of my trip.
Video of your trip.
Yes.
Right. There we go. And I'll just go get you a span. I won't be long.
Thanks so much.
The meal was definitely not the best, but for a 1 hour flight it was more than acceptable. I had a glass of sparkling water and some sort of roast beef with mashed potatoes and green vegetables. You blink and you miss this flight, which is a shame because it's quite a nice place to be up in the air at somewhere between 30 and 40,000 feet. As we come into land at runway 34 left at Sydney International Airport, Kingsford Smith, here are some of my review reflections. Besides the somewhat interesting remark from the cabin crew who served me my meal, the flight was quite good. The lounge was nice, even though it was only partially completed, and the seat on board the A330 fleet are really quite good. If you can snare a points upgrade, or if you have the cash to splash on a business class fare, then I would certainly recommend it. It's fun to enjoy even on just a 1 hour short hop from Melbourne to Sydney, but if you can fare on a transcontinental Sydney to Perth or Melbourne to Perth service, or even overseas, then it's a really great product to enjoy. Thank you once again for watching. It's been great to deliver my 4th video to you today, and I hope to see you again soon. Best wishes.